slows down. You know, we counted change the other day. You see what I'm saying? We counted change the other day. You see? And then the next day, bam, some money just came through. You see? So that's how this thing is. When you hoard it, it slows down. When you let it flow, it's called currency. What does a current do? It flows. When you shut down a current, the money becomes dormant. So in order to do it, you got to flow. So misers, man, that's a real bad way. Because being a miser and a cheap person is talking about something, it don't even have nothing to do with your money. You are actually, there's something blocking in your soul. And it's repelling people and money. So if you're a cheap person, the first thing you need to do is don't argue about when you go and you see something, your spirit tell you you need to get it, and you got to go negotiate with your mind on why you want to get it. I know people. We used to have a place in Atlanta, we sold the metaphysical books, and the people would come up, we were like, damn, you would think you was buying a house. It's a book. It's $14, get the book. They had a pencil and a piece of paper, I'm like, you that cheap? The books is knowledge. Knowledge is rich. You see what I'm saying? So you slowing stuff down. So that's how the spirit world works. You're going to have to redo the way you think of stuff. Another thing, stop doing. Stop scheduling shit in. Well, I think I can schedule you in on Monday. That's some white people shit. You're supposed to let it flow. Sometimes somebody drop through. Yeah, somebody drop through, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you have a jam session. Now, what you need to do, now guess what? Aset and Heru, the two chief figures in Kemet, Aset and Hathor. They said they was in the Christian church all through all the holy sanctified shit. So whenever you hear that tambourine is Heru's instrument and Aset. If you look at the sistrum, it's the same instrument converted into the tambourine. So the tambourine, get you a tambourine and get the one, they got some they call professional ones, and then you grip them and you shake it like this. They got the one with the drum thing, but get you some tambourines because that's Aset stuff. And then beat it to some funk. So we'll get in there, I start playing this music in the house. People will drop through, and all of a sudden we talk, we think on move out in about 4 or 5 minutes, and we start playing some music, the next thing you know, we into a jam session. We bring out the tambourines, the shaker rays, stuff start knocking on stuff, and that's when you breaking through to the spirit realm, and that's how you got to start doing things. But anyway, that spirit realm is here, so as a result, the baby's now coming in autistic. That is a soul that is stuck between two realms. It's stuck between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. You see what I'm saying? So it functions, so it doesn't have the full function of a person that's totally trapped into the physical realm. So that's what this autism thing. So the autistic babies is showing you a sign that those physical realms is here. Now we're going to get into the first part of the lecture. We're going to get into Anubis' mother, which is the god Neptet. You know as Neptes. I'm going to show you some stuff here. So, first of all, we're going to do this. Oh, I got to do it here, right? Click this on. Take it again. Okay, there we go. This is my queen, Linda. This is my queen, Linda. You think it'd be better to turn the lights down?
Yeah. Well, turn the light right there, brother. Right there, right. There you go.
Okay, this is my queen, Linda. We hooked up in 2004. See what I'm saying? This is before I transformed myself with the goatee. Because we did a lecture on Pan, which is the goat. And so then I started growing a goatee, and the rest is history. You see what I'm saying? You know. And all of a sudden, you know, babes started staying and stuff and coming back and stuff. Now, so this is my queen Linda. This is when she first got down to Atlanta. A very mysterious queen, but this is her mother who just made the transition on the 2nd of October. And this is her mother. She's from D.C. Now, John Henry Clark said people from D.C. It's called Charge of the Light Brigade, as John Henry Clark said. They're real light-skinned people up in that area. She even said she had some brothers that passed. She got one brother that passed for white, and got all kind of Italian people up on one side of the family. But this is her mother. which is interesting here. She made the transition on the 2nd of October. Real mysterious figure. This is another picture of her when she was at Howard University. And look, and it's ironic because how I hooked up with my queen is I knew my queen. I met my queen during the Million Woman March in Philly. And I told her she looked like a lot of my family members and my cousins. I got a group of cousins look like her. And so that's how we kept in touch all the years by calling each other cousins. And then in 2004 we hooked up. You see what I'm saying? And, and she came down from D.C. And we can't get out the country now. Love it. That's one thing about northern people. They talk shit, but if you ever get them down there for a couple of months in that country and they stay about a year or two, you got to put a gun to their head to get them out. Now, it's interesting because country folks, I know people that came to New York and lived in squalor and had a mansion down home in Mississippi and Alabama, but you couldn't put a gun to their head to take them back to Mississippi and Alabama. I guess I'm like that. I was born in a small town looked like Mayberry. I don't even like grass. So it's either New York or I settle for Atlanta, but I'm a metropolitan person. But anyway, the deal is with her, and I'm going to get into this. I'm going to go back to her in a few minutes because I'm going to show the goddesses. I'm going to show something after this. Remember the last time I was here, see, and the reason why I'm saying this about these particular people is to say that the gods and the goddesses are here, and they have always been here. And a lot of times you learn new gods and goddesses when you go to the next level, or go to the next realm, or what we call make the transition. And so there's a sister named Ty Seeley, who was a psychic. She used to come and do reading. She used to go to Valentine for a little short brief time. And she's a psychic and a seer. And I think she came up to New York recently and did something at one of these events they had. But you probably know because she came to the Metaphysical Masters back in when Valentine was doing them back in 94. So anyway, Ty Seeley back in 1994 gave me my mother's spiritual name. I told you about this the last time I was here. And her spiritual name was Memtep Sing Sing. Her original name was Glaciria Hemet. But her spiritual name was Memtep Sing Sing. So when I gave her a spiritual name back in 1994, now she just made the transition last summer, 2006. But when I gave her the spiritual name, Memtep Sing Sing, she said, that shit sounds Asian. And she just made the transition, but I talked about this last. This is a picture of my mother when she was in her 20s, and she looks Asian. You see what I'm saying? So to let you know, and so sure enough, when she passed on, the goddess Kuan Yin showed up. Well, let me show you some other Asian stuff. She died on July the 20th, 2006. 30 years to the day, Bruce Lee died on July 33 years. Bruce Lee died on July the 20th, 1973. You see? Hank Aaron's last game he played in the Major League was July 20th, 1970, 30 years before she died, before she made the transition. So I go to tell you that to say, soon as she went to the other aspect, the goddesses showed up. Well, the goddesses showed up about in 2005, right after Katrina. Kuan Yin showed up. She was born in 1935, and Kuan Yin showed up in 2005 when she, right when she turned 70. You see what I'm saying? And so the point I'm trying to make here is these entities that we talk about in these books are actually you, and a lot of people find out this whenever they make the transition. So this sister made the transition on the 2nd, but it's interesting here because before she made the transition, I'll show you this. Go to this next one. This goddess, this is I'm going to give you, I'll go to the next one. Hold on 1 minute. Let me go to the next one. This goddess, right here, this is Neptys, a Neptet. She has a Neptet. She came in June. She said, lift me lecture, and I went to travel to Shreveport and did a whole lecture on this deity. And then all of a sudden, when I did a lecture on this deity started to rise. This is Aset. This is Nephthys, Neptet. Neptet. There's several pronunciations. But the Greek name, which is printed the most, is Nephthys. Come to find out, the Greek name is Egyptian, and guess what? We now know that these names that was given to the Greeks by the Egyptians. I'll tell you, there was a whole university, and the Greek language, as far as the script, Greek and Latin, those are all made by the ancient Egyptians in schools that they gave script. They had texts that they gave to the neighboring people. I'll go into that in a few minutes. Anyway, Nephthys is the dark Isis. If you get a goddess, she always has a dark side. So she is called the Black Isis. In Samaria, you have Inanna and you have Ereshkigal. And Inanna descends into hell and meets her sister and dies and hung up on a meat hook for 3 days. And then resurrected on the 3rd day. Does this story sound familiar? Well, but her sister, who lives in the kingdom of the underworld, is nothing but the neglected half of Inanna. So Ereshkigal, who is the underworld deity. Now somebody's talking on the phone. Y'all need to cut the shit off. We don't want to get nigga on you, but goddamn. You know, because niggas will go there. Cut the phone off. You see, because you're disturbing the other people. Now, Nephthys and Ereshkigal, which is Inanna's sister, is nothing but the neglected half of Inanna, the queen of heaven. Inanna is Aset in Egypt, and Nephthys is nothing but her neglected half. So they say in the future the dark Isis need to be turned into the light Isis, which is not talking about white, it's talking about light as far as the soul bar. So one sister has to transform into the higher form of the other sister, and they come together. Then they get the full fruition of the goddess. So now, I want to go back to this one. This is the same one now. If I go to this one, this is coming off of the sarcophagus. It's coming off of the sarcophagus of King Tut's sarcophagus, in which he's encased, where his famous, this is actually his shrine, in which the famous sarcophagus is encased in, about 3 or 4 of them. On the door of there is this particular 2 goddesses, Neptet and Aset. Well, here's the same rendition of it, drawn out. Oh, I'm going backwards. Okay, hold on 1 minute. Getting used to the technology. Drawn out. They just got a little lazy and put the other throne of Aset on the head. It's supposed to be a house throne. But this is the same one. I gave you the original picture. Until the artist rendition, they took the Nephthys and they still put the throne on Aset's head. Now, but this is it. But if you look at this closer, this is coming from King Tut's shrine. This is the Masonic squared compass. That's why it's fitting that we do this in this building tonight. This is the Masonic squared compass. This is also the lips of the vagina. What is called what is called the technical people? The labia. This is also the labia. You see what I'm saying? It's also the labia. There's a whole nother civilization if you mess around with this. You see what I'm saying, brothers? We take this for granted, but you need to start dealing in these areas. You see what I'm saying? With your tongue. You get the benefit. You see? So this is a whole other civilization right here that people take for granted. These things are not here for no reason. You best believe that. Everything is everything. You see what I'm saying? Let me show you how advanced the vagina is. If you cut the hairs off, you send a signal. If you shave your hair, you send a signal that it no longer produces an odor. It shuts down that part. You see what I'm saying? If you put the hair on it, it produces an odor. For the simple fact here is, it can flow a certain way because it's cleaning out, but because it has the hair there. This is an intelligence. Everything is an intelligence. But when you cut that off, if you shave certain reactions you do. So if it does that with that, what you think you do when you come in contact. So that's also what it is. But it's also the square and the compass. It's showing you the physiological aspect of this thing. You understand where I'm coming from? Now, going right along. Okay, so this is the same two goddesses, and you see the actual, go back. You see the actual, this is a little house on her head. And this is the throne, which is also the symbol for the Star Series. And as you see, they are venerating and raising up the Eye of Heru. These are two that is standing in the doorway of melanin. Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm glad you directing it. Okay, now let's go on. This is another form of the same goddess, Heru. Same goddess, Heru. Now I'm gonna bring this into reality in a few minutes to show you how things line up. And so what we're doing is we're getting people that's making the transition, and they're automatically aligning with the gods. So when Asa Head made the transition, Anubis came through and said, that's a part of me. He's Anubis. I am Pu. You see what I'm saying? When they make the transition. Now, going right along. This is one where the two sisters are lining up, and they are, they are venerating or adoration of the Ankh. So that if these two goddesses are worshiping the Ankh, it means that the Ankh that you get, that you think is just some little symbol or some trinket, it has a lot of power to it. So everybody should align themselves up with Ankhs. And the more creative you do with making these Ankhs, the more energy you bring into your house or bring around yourself. And so everybody needs an Ankh. Now, moving right along. This is the Mac. This is the Mac with Max Julian, Richard Pryor, and Roger D. Mosley. 1972. A new kind of hero on, on the streets. New kind of hero on the streets. This is the Mac. Everybody should be familiar with this poster. This poster has very significant spiritual significance. I'm going to show you the original Mac in history. Same brother. Osiris. This, you see, look, everything is everything. I've learned this in the spirit world. Things that you think is just ignorant or stupid or we just was following around and stuff. Everything is everything. This is the ancient form of the same damn picture. Now, this is the original pimp right here, of the Mac. This is Osiris, or Osar, who hooked up with two sisters and made love to both of them. Aset had Horus or Heru. Nephet, the sister get that pronunciation again? What's that? Neverhet had the son Anubis or Anpu for Osar or Osiris. So he was playing both sides to the middle. He was so bad, he was getting busy with two sisters. You see what I'm saying? This is the same concept. Now, remember I said these are the labia? Well, this is the penis inside of the labia. Ain't that something? See? Ain't that something? This is the penis inside of it, and you know his whole concept with the obelisk? So these are ancient tantric things. So these pictures can show a multiplicity of things. One can be sexual. One can have some psychological things. You see what I'm saying? One can have some polarity. Because basically, you can also be balancing the both realms of the female energy inside of you. You see what I'm saying? So it has a lot of meanings to it. Ultimately, they go into a higher level because there's the god Kefra. You see what I'm saying? Or goddess Kefra, because this is a bisexual being. You see? So this is interesting on how this thing goes. This is coming from Budge's Osiris, the Egyptian resurrection books that have these things in it and stuff like that. But it's just very interesting on how these things go. Now, this is another one where both Nephthys or Neptet is venerating Khnum, one of the Egyptian gods. It's a pre-dynastic deity also. But when you see these two, that means that Khnum is also a form of Osiris or Osar. And is venerating the devil for you people. Anytime you see the horns on the head, that the devil later on becomes, those horns, when you see those horns, there's a book, Jeffrey Burton Russell's book, The Devil. Good book to read because it gives you all, it takes all the spookism out of what the devil is. Because the Christians didn't have any iconology of what the devil was. They just used ancient iconology. So they used the goat god Pan, which is a form of Osiris, because it's also a later form of, it's also an early form of Dionysus, which is also a form of Osiris. Dionysus is killed and cut up into pieces by Typhon. Set Typhon. Typhon is also translate Titans. No, so Osiris is cut up into the pieces by Typhon. Set Typhon. Dionysus is killed by the Titans and cut up into pieces and eaten by the Titans. Same story. So Dionysus is Osiris. If you get the book The Jesus Mystery by Timothy Freak and Peter Gandy, they'll have the context, the Jesus complex broken down into the Osirian Dionysus complex. So it's called The Jesus Mysteries by Timothy Freak and Peter Gandy, a revolutionary book. It takes all of this Christian iconology and breaks it back down into the Camite information. So this is the same goddesses, the same goddesses that is venerating a form of Osiris, in this particular case, Khnum. Now let's see what we got here. Now, what we're going to do is, let's see what this next picture is first. Okay, yeah. Now, this is interesting here. You heard the story of Bethany, of Jesus. When they took Jesus off the cross, he was buried by who? Mary and Mary Magdalene. You heard these stories. Well, in Kemet, when Osiris died, or Osar died, it was Nephthys and Aset that was at the burial site that was involved in the burial and the resurrection. Now, this is interesting here because we know that Aset is Mary. Then who would Nephthys be? Mary Magdalene. Now, everything is everything. Remember, the Da Vinci Code came out last year, and there's about 20 books on Mary Magdalene that came out in the last 3-4 years. And then all of a sudden, a year after the Da Vinci Code, this Nephthys gets in touch with me and say, raise her up. Now, what do they mean by raise her up? Does it mean I have the power to raise her up? No, they say to speak of the gods mean they live again. So when I do a lecture on her, that's a form of raising her up. You understand where I'm coming from? So this is how science goes. Okay, this is a goddess called Serket. Serket is a scorpion goddess to show you what you're doing. My woman is Scorpio. My woman is Scorpio. And I pretty much got this diplomatic style. I go for about 3 or 4 months trying not to upset her. See what I'm saying? So basically, I walk real quiet in my own damn house. Don't let the yellow fool you. You see what I'm saying? Because whenever she goes on the warpath, it's very severe. You know what I'm saying? This woman actually beat me up one day, and I'm sitting there amazed. I said, I know I can't hit her back, but she whipped up on my behind and stuff. And I told you I was in the supermarket I was in the supermarket, and there was a little flap on the basket you're supposed to put up with a towel set. Well, she didn't put that flap up, and a can of corn or something fell on my foot and hurt my damn big toe, my little toe. So I said, you're supposed to put this flap up. And why did I do that for? She went off on a nigga in front of about 100 people in the supermarket. Went off. You see what I'm saying? So I walk quiet. So I try to be diplomatic about it. Because basically, in my 20s and my early 30s, most of my relationship was spent arguing. And I thought about that. I said, wait a minute. Do we actually, is there a concept where we can get to our point where we don't argue? Because I used to love to argue. So I'm not just this timid person. This is an experiment with me. I used to love to argue. I was Sagittarius. So I love to argue. So I'm not saying these things about I walk quiet in my house because I'm a timid person. I did this in an experiment with my last to relationships, I just decided, look, I'm going to rise above it all. So and I realized you can actually be in a relationship when 98.8% of the time is peaceful. So we might have an altercation maybe every 3-4 months. And that's good. When you got people walking around hating each other, sleeping in the same bed. But that's that scorpion too. You see what I'm saying? So there's the devil up under there too. You see what I'm saying? I'm being held hostage with Satan. I'm crying out for help here. Somebody rescue me. Yeah, I talked about Satan all them years, and then all of a sudden shit showed up in my bedroom. They say, do not ask for nothing. You just might get it. You see? But 90% of the time, she's the sweetest person on earth. But that's that Scorpio energy also, too. And all, so she's in charge. Like I said, I can't find nothing. She throw away everything. I have to tell her, that ain't trash. That's memorabilia, because it's going in the trash can. Now, you see what I'm saying? Now, dealing with this, I want to go back. Because we're dealing with the Neptet. I want to go back. Dealing with the Neptet. Okay, hold up. Now, we're dealing with Neptet. Now, let's go back. To show you these guys turn into something. First of all, this sister here that just made the transition, Neptet is called the Dark Isis. She's a fallen daughter. Her husband was Set. Although she had a baby for Osiris, her husband was Set. And she was a housewife. So in so many words, she was held captive by Set. Now there's another story, you hear the Greek story of Demeter and Persephone. Persephone is snatched into the underworld by Hades. Now, this is very key here because there's a book I called, let me get this right, Earth's daughter, Hell's bride. And the story is Persephone, who is Neptune. This is the Phoenician story, because the Greeks just basically orally copied the Phoenician story and the Sumerian story, which used to be pre-dynastic. So follow me on this. Neptune was a young, beautiful maiden walking around. She had her mother taking care of her, named Demeter, who is a form of Isis. And Neptune was snatched into the underworld by Hades. That's Set Typhon. And it also can be Osiris, too. This is the king of the underworld. She was raped and she was snatched into the underworld by Hades. Now follow this story. Hades, Demeter had to set out to go rescue her daughter. So she camps out in a place that borders the underworld and the physical world, called Eleusis, or Elysius. That's where you go when you die. It's a place that's not yet heaven, because heaven has to be established on earth. And the real heaven hadn't gotten here yet. That's what we're doing now. The kingdom is being ushered in by the conscience of a people in America that was supposed to usher in the kingdom of Maya. That's you. And as we figure these things out in this lecture, that's a part of ushering in the kingdom. You just don't understand that you are being taken part of a magical situation, because you still think that you some nigga out here on the street that was born in Harlem, the Bronx, or wherever, and don't know that you the angelic people that the whole world is looking for. Now remember Afghanistan, the reason why they bombed Afghanistan and blamed it on the Bin Laden, because in 1999, Afghanistan, the people in Afghanistan had a celebration in the streets of Afghanistan. They did it in Afghanistan and they did it in Pakistan. And they had a celebration, and when the American visitor was over there saying, why are you celebrating? They said, we are celebrating some hidden gods that has risen up in the United States. This is what they said, 1999 NBC News. Then all of a sudden, Afghanistan is bombed, and then they blow up a train in Pakistan, and they got some stuff going on there. Y'all better recognize snatched into the underworld. Her mother, which would be her sister in Egypt, her mother has to go after her and goes to Eleusis and makes her way into Hades and make a deal with Hades that she would spend half the year in the underworld, that's your winter, and half the year in the upper world, which is the earth, that's the summer. And that was the deal that was made out. And there's a book called Earth's Daughter, Earth Daughter, Hell's Bride, or something like that. But just get another book called Mysteries of the Dark Moon. And go online and look up the Persephone Demeter mythology. It's 2,000-3,000 years old. But anyway, she has to be rescued. Now, when Nephthys, which is a form of Persephone, came in June and said, "Rescue me! I've been down on the bottom for thousands of years." And we did the lecture in Freeport, Louisiana. Next thing we know, this sister starts to slip away in September. She starts to slip away in September. Now, if there was ever a person, so they say so in psychology they got a black man or any kind of male dominant figure they call a Hades male, narcissism or whatever. And part of you being held captive in your husband might be a maniac, an egomaniac, which is a maniac. You might be held captive by your husband. So now, if there was ever a Nephthys fallen figure, the fallen daughter Nephthys is always in pain and suffering. It's Persephone, she suffers under the domain of Hades until the mother rescued her, and she has to spend 6 months on top of the earth and 6 months in hell. If there was ever a Hades figure, this sister got married to Linda's father. They had 4 children. And this woman loved this man until when he left in the late 60s, came back for a brief time in the 70s. And he left about 40 years ago. Here's a woman that spent 40 years with a broken heart. And her heart was broke so bad, she could not get past him to the day she died. She had 3 heart attacks, diabetes, arthritis, you name it, she had it. Not, to the point where as she advanced into suffering. You know, so people can go into suffering to a level till it becomes commonplace. So she can live with it. Always in pain, always suffering. You see what I'm saying? Always suffering. I saw her at age 79 because she turned 80, and man, she was a knockout then. I'm like, dang. You know, well, her daughter is a piece. So I mean, and stuff. And all right, and it's hard to believe that. It's hard to believe this is how she looks now, and she's gonna hit the big 5-0 on the 20th of. She's gonna hit the big 5-0 on the 20th of November. She's born on the 20th. I'm born on the 28th. But going back to this mother, this woman with Nephthys say rise up, and the next thing we know, she starts slipping away. And she had 40 years of suffering with a broke heart. She never got over him leaving. Now check this out. Her foot came down with gangrene. So Linda went in. That's why you got to get some more of those that left. Which is my queen. She went in. I want to show you these pictures. And she healed her gangrene. I want to keep going. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on 1 minute. Oh, we didn't see him now. I want to go back. Keep on going. Okay, hold on 1 minute. See, I'll go back to this picture. I want to show you this. Don't this look like some sisters you know in Harlem? You ever met some sisters like this? This is a real picture of how the ancient Egyptians used to look. This is one that they only brought out this year. And she's a darker image, but that look like some sisters I know. This is a real person that actually lived. You see what I'm saying now? This is the Sri Yantra. So when her leg came down in gangrene, my queen went in and took this. All you got to do is memorize this and sent these pyramids to the cells in her foot, and it healed overnight. Now we know this can happen. There was a European guy that went down to Nigeria, and the Yoruba people healed his gangrene overnight, and he became a high priest in Europe. Got several books out. So this can happen. So this healed her overnight, the Sri Yantra. She took this and projected it into her foot, and it healed overnight. But guess what happened? The next day she went into a coma. Now what happened? There's some stuff happened. My mother was well up until the day she died, but in 2004, she just came down, her kidneys just shut down, with her kidneys and this diabetes and stuff. And so when we got the stuff about the healing, they said, well, the spirit world said when your body makes a contract to leave at a certain time, it's going to leave regardless. You see what I'm saying? So now,